How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.
What's going on, guys? I've got another rookie profile for you, and I am breaking down Garrett Wilson today. But before I do, I want to remind you, Patreon is live. Go ahead and subscribe to that if you want to just support what we do here so that we can continue to make these awesome videos for you. $2 a month if you want access to Dynasty rankings, tiered Dynasty rankings, tiered rookie rankings, and all of that. Go ahead and head there, and $5 a month will get you access to all of that stuff. And we've got a couple other tiers where you can get a couple nice little perks. So go ahead and check it out. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, which you're watching this on right now, or follow me on Twitter at Marco_14P. I apologize if you hear my daughter in the background. We just had a baby a couple months, almost 2 months ago now, and she is with me. I'm on dad duty today. So if you hear her, I apologize. But let's jump into Garrett Wilson. So Garrett Wilson is my number 2 wide receiver in this class. Justin might be flirting with putting him at 1. I'm not sure 100%. But Garrett Wilson is a really, really nice prospect. He's 6 foot, 192, coming out of Ohio State. A lot of people are talking about Chris Olave out of Ohio State as like the number 1 guy. But I think really for me, it's always been Garrett Wilson. I think he is one of the best route runners in this class. We'll talk about strengths and weaknesses in a little bit. But he's an exciting guy for the 2022 season. So let's look at what he did in college, or in 2021, I should say. So 66 receptions, 1,104 yards, 11 touchdowns. His breakout age was at 20 and a half. And really what I like about Garrett Wilson is that he is one of the guys who has been used in one way in college, but he has the weapons and the skill set to be used in every way at the NFL. And I'm really excited about that. So let's jump into his strengths and weaknesses. His number 1 strength, I talked about it briefly already, is his route running. He is top 3 in this class easily. I think he's number 1 in this class, but top 3 is where I'm okay not fighting people on, So I think that's a big strength of his. His run after the catch ability is one of the things that has made him such a good college wide receiver. And I think it's going to be one of the things that help him to become an excellent NFL wide receiver. The other thing that I really, really love about what Garrett Wilson does is his football IQ. He is one of the headier wide receivers in this class. And I think those are the wide receivers we've seen succeed more recently in the NFL. I'm going to go back so you guys can see his height, weight. He's 6 foot, 192. So he's not some big domineering force wide receiver that a lot of people get excited about, like the Treylon Burks, who I think is obviously awesome. But we've seen a lot of wide receivers recently come out, be a little bit smaller, and actually really succeed. We've seen Deontay Johnson. We've seen, the hopes for Jerry Jeudy. We've seen Jalen Waddles. We've seen, these proficient route runners be superstars at the NFL level. Even Antonio Brown is obviously not exactly Antonio Brown anymore, but still, he was a smaller dude. He's fast, but he was a really good route technician. And I think when it comes to Garrett Wilson, we could see a lot of route technician stuff that helps him separate, that helps him get smart plays done at the NFL level, which helps him be one of the best guys in this class. My player comp for him is actually Deontay Johnson, who I just mentioned a little bit ago. I think Deontay Johnson and him are really similar. Deontay Johnson's size when he came out, people were like, can he be a true outside wide receiver? And I think that's a lot of the questions we have about Garrett Wilson. Can he make it in the NFL on the outside? I think he will show us fairly quickly that he can. I wanted so desperately to comp him to a Justin Jefferson. I think Justin Jefferson's a little bit better of an athlete. And I think also Justin Jefferson doesn't deal with some of the main weakness I have for for Garrett Wilson. And that is hands. He has a lot of concentration drops. And I think that's something he really, really needs to shore up. But that kind of reminded me a little bit of a Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson struggled with drops a little bit. And even, in 2021, he showed us drops isn't something that you need to really be worried about at the NFL level as long as they're seeing the volume. And I think Garrett Wilson could be one of those big volume play wide receivers who maybe does a little bit more. And if he can cut down on drops, he could be a true force in the NFL. I'm excited to see where he lands. I'm excited to see where Treylon Burks lands and a couple others. We got a bunch of wide receivers, a couple other running backs, some tight ends, quarterbacks that we're going to be breaking down for you guys in the near future. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the Patreon, And follow me on Twitter at Marco_14P. If you've got questions, hit me up on YouTube, Twitter, wherever, even on Patreon, we're asking questions and stuff. So, or answering questions. So go ahead and drop anything you guys are curious about, and let me know your thoughts below. What do you think about Garrett Wilson? Was he your top 2 wide receiver? Was he your number 1 wide receiver? And I'll say this, he was my number 2 wide receiver even before Jamison Williams. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.